Welcome to the Devil May Cry Timeline Part 2, Facing the Past. In Part 1, we went all the way back to the beginning of creation, when the demon world and the human world split from the universe's original darkness. The Demon King Mundus grew power-hungry and attacked humanity, but one of his own allies, the Dark Knight Sparta, stood against him and ended the war. And after deciding to live as a human, Sparta disappeared and his two twin sons, Dante and Virgil, took separate paths after losing their mother. Dante worked towards starting his own demon hunting business, and Virgil searched the world to claim his father's power. But before we begin on Part 2, I do want to make a quick correction from Part 1. I mentioned that Mary's father Arkham was descended from the priestess that Sparta sacrificed. I actually meant to say that Arkham's daughter was, not Arkham himself. But it wasn't worth re-rendering the entire video over again. At the end of Part 1, Dante learned that Virgil was still alive, and the brothers engaged each other in combat after it was made clear they had opposite goals. Throughout the next year, Virgil and Arkham uncovered the 7 sins. Each demon had been nailed to the earth with cursed stakes by Sparta, and he stripped them of their names, taking away their power. But Arkham and Virgil restored their names and undid the seals he had placed to keep the Temenigru Tower from rising again. With the first set of seals broken, it was time for Virgil to reclaim Dante's half of the perfect amulet, and sent Arkham to coax Dante into facing him again, bringing us to the events of Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening.
You a customer too? Well, if you want to use the bathroom, help yourself. The toilet's in the back.
Is your name Dante, son of Sparta?
Where did you hear that?
From your brother. He sent this invitation for you. Please, accept it.
Invitation, huh? This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Undoing a portion of the seals had already started having effects in the human world. Demons were appearing throughout the city, and a group of Hell Jailers attacked Dante. Demons responsible for governing evil humans sent to Hell, and represented the 7 sins. In the human world, the Hell Jailers indiscriminately hunted down all humans, guilty or innocent of any wrongdoing.
I can already tell. Looks like this is gonna be one hell of a party!
The The chaos wasn't just contained within Dante's unnamed shop. It was quickly spreading, and the demons kept Dante busy. And Arkham and Virgil had performed the rituals necessary to raise the Tema Negru from the underworld.
Isn't it a magnificent view? The greatest minds of their time, those who revered evil, constructed this glorious edifice. Now, after 2 millenniums of confinement, it can at last fulfill the purpose for which it was intended.
That's none of my concern. Did he have it?
Of course. He's taking good care of it. After all, it is the only memento left from the mother you both lost.
But he has no idea of its true power.
Dante wasn't the only demon hunter operating in the area, however. Arkham's daughter Mary had been paying attention to the rise in demon attacks and tracked down the location of her father. She still felt the pain of her mother's loss and vowed to avenge her death at his hands. Dante, in the meantime, took the bait and made his way to the entrance of the Tema Negru and encountered one of the guardians that Sparta had imprisoned a long time ago.
Leave now, mortal! The likes of you are forbidden in this land! You are powerless, but not worthy to set foot here!
Wow, I've never seen a talking mud before. You know, in a dog show, you'd definitely take first place.
You ugly human make a mockery of me!
Easy, Fido. How about I take you for a walk? Come on, puppy. Let's go.
You'll regret this, you word!
It's showtime. Come on.
The Ice Guardian of the Tema Negru, known in the demon world as Cerberus, protected the entrance, a 3-headed hellhound gifted with the ability to control ice.
You are not human, are you?
Who knows? I'm not even sure myself.
Regardless, you have proved your strength. I acknowledge your ability. Take my soul and go forth. You have my blessing.
After defeating Cerberus, the demon submitted to Dante, having proved his worth, and gave up its soul to him willingly. In these cases, a demon can become a living weapon, representing a manifestation of its own abilities. And Cerberus became a devil arm of 3 interlocking rods infused with the elemental power of ice.
Too easy. Are you going to the party? What's the hurry? Didn't you get an invitation? This just keeps getting better and better.
Mary was now in the tower, searching for Arkham, completely unaware of who or what Dante was, but revenge against her father was her only concern, and no obstacles would stop her. Virgil waited for his brother at the top of the tower and expressed his displeasure at Mary's arrival. Virgil was a man of order and strategic planning, and the girl was an unknown variable he hadn't expected. But unknown to Virgil, she was crucial to Arkham's plans. He'd been suspicious of him from the beginning, but could never quite figure out what his true intentions were. And Dante made his way through the tower's hallways. It contained chambers filled with the demon army unleashed with the 7 sins, multiple chambers and pathways, and a maze filled with ancient artifacts, needed to progress to the higher levels. In one of those pathways, he also faced the enormous Gigapede, a giant worm-like demon that entered the human world through a tear in reality, and could generate electricity. After defeating the Gigapede, Dante discovered the Astronomical Board, a device that was powered by time and displayed an endless void. He needed it to reach some of the higher levels, but he wouldn't be able to do so without interruption. Arkham used his alternate identity of Jester to move around the Temminigru freely, away from Virgil's suspicions, in order to taunt Dante, and at the same time guide him further in.
There's no need to use violence, devil boy. Oh, wait. Better listen to what I say, lad. This tower here is very sturdy. You see? Your tricks will do no good. No good!
Zip it, or I'll pierce that big nose.
That could be a problem. Just hear me out. You've got nothing to lose, right? My name is Jester, and I know a thing or two about this place. That thing there is a power generator for this entire sector. In order to open the door, you'll need to apply a little something to it first. Do you know what that is, kid? Or is that too difficult for you?
Get to the point, or do you want to keep on dancing?
Actually, I prefer a sword to be my partner. May I have this dance, my lady? Bingo! That is what the something is. Remember that, kid. Write it down on your hand if you don't trust your head.
I see. Thanks. You still piss me off, though.
To keep his charade as an antagonizing clown going, Jester summoned blood goyles to attack Dante, lesser demons that are created when blood touches enchanted statues. They're dangerous creatures in large numbers, but stood no chance against Dante, just enough of an inconvenience to irritate him. And another guardian that Sparta locked away waited patiently for their upcoming guest, quite different from Cerberus.
Look, brother, it's been ages, but we finally have company. I see that. We must entertain our guest. You're right. We have to be gracious hosts. What should we do? How do I know? We need to come up with something. Brother, our guest is sighing. Sigh? What is sigh? Well, a sigh is when...
Enough already! How long are you two gonna keep carrying on like this? In case you didn't get the hint, I'll spell it out. You're a guest. Wants to go through. Got it?
Our job here is to guard this door. That's right. We cannot let you pass.
Agni and Rudra, known together as Firestorm. They were twin demon brothers that could become living swords, but compared to most demons that are immediately hostile to mortals, Agni and Rudra are rather polite and seek to be gracious hosts. But the impatient and frustrated Dante was eager for a fight, and the twins attacked him individually. Agni had control over the powers of fire, and Rudra had the powers of wind. When one brother's physical form was destroyed, the other took his true form as a living sword and served as a weapon, combining the two into a powerful fighting force.
Wait! Yes, wait! We have been waiting for a long time! Yes, a very long time. For someone stronger than us. Someone who can control us. My name is Agni. And my name is Rudra. You shall take us with you. We can be a great help to you.
Okay, but on one condition.
What is it? Name it!
No talking.
Fair enough. As you wish. Impressive.
No talking.
After being defeated, the twins reverted into their weapon forms and asked Dante to use them, under the condition that they would be quiet. Dante was becoming more skilled and better equipped with every victory, and Mary, although was completely human, was able to hold her own inside the Temini Gru without any help. But brute strength alone wouldn't be enough to reach the top of the tower. It also demanded that 3 trials be passed. Trials of wisdom, trials of skill, and trials testing his capabilities as a warrior. Dante continued his journey through the tower, and Mary had found her father.
You've grown stronger.
Go to hell.
You point a gun at me? Your own kin? Your dear papa?
The only family I ever had was my mother. And she's dead!
You break my heart. After all, it was I who gave you your name. My darling daughter.
Well, this is my kind of rain. No wonder the sky looks so funny today.
Let me go!
Let you go? But it would be a waste if you ended up as just a pretty stain. What the hell was that for? Here I am trying to help you, and you show your thanks by shooting me? Whatever. Do as you please.
Dante's demonic powers made him almost indestructible. Getting shot in the head by Mary was a simple inconvenience, as he could heal quickly from even the most severe wounds that would kill a normal human. And Mary realized that he was a demon, a new enemy in her way. Soon after, Dante made it to the top of the tower and found his brother waiting for him. He hadn't confronted Virgil since a year before, when he first attempted to steal the amulet from him.
You sure know how to throw a party. No food, no drinks, and the only babe just left.
My sincerest apology, brother. I was so eager to see you, I couldn't concentrate on preparations for the bash.
Whatever. At any rate, it's been a whole year since we last met. How about a kiss from you, brother? Or better yet, how about a kiss from this? So, this is what they call a heartwarming family reunion, eh?
You got that right. Why do you refuse to gain power? The power of our father, Sparta.
Father? I don't have a father. I just don't like you, that's all.
Foolishness, Dante. Foolishness. Might controls everything. And without strength, you cannot protect anything. Let alone yourself.
Virgil's plans were set in motion, and he now had both pieces of the perfect amulet, the key required to open the gates of the underworld. The struggle against his brother was fierce, and Dante had lost the battle, but pushing his abilities to the edge unlocked the hidden power inside. The power to tap into his demonic side and change into a more powerful form briefly. With a new strength and renewed sense of purpose, he was determined to get his amulet back and stop Virgil.
Wait! We should leave. For the moment, we have all that we need.
Dante found himself swallowed by an enormous creature circling the Temenigru, the Leviathan, also known as the evil god beast. Leviathan was a biological weapon created by Mundus and powered by human souls sent to the underworld. The inside of its body was a gateway to one of the many hells of the demon world, the Hell of Envy. And several demons and gigapedes roamed its enormous insides filled with debris from the outside world. The only way for Dante to escape would be to strike at its internal organs and force his way out.
So this is the next stage.
Wait!
If you're asking for a date, forget it. Because I make it a point not to go out with women who shoot me in the head.
Date a demon? I'm not that desperate. Besides, I really don't care for guys who stink like blood.
You're right. Tell me, what's your name?
I don't have a name.
Okay, then what should I call you?
I don't care, whatever you want.
Whatever, lady.
Mary was a thorn in Dante's side, but he knew the girl didn't pose much of a threat. She was on a mission of her own, and he decided to use her as a distraction so he could confront Virgil. But several more powerful demons stood in his way. He made it to the tower's sunken opera house and faced another one of the gatekeepers, taking the form of a seductive young woman, a lightning witch that seduced humans down the dark path to hell. But her fate would be no different than the previous gatekeepers Dante confronted.
You're sweet.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
All right. I'll help you. Your father was a handsome devil. But you're no slouch yourself.
Virgil and Arkham were closer to their goals, and the final door to Sparta's seal was open. But Virgil had been growing more and more distrustful of Arkham, especially when he realized that he didn't kill Mary when he first saw her, allowing her to live. A partner tempted by power and having plans of his own was of no use to Virgil. Eventually, Dante found Arkham's body, and Mary found him standing above her father, furious that she wasn't the one who killed him.
That man... Did you kill him?
So what if I did? Woo! Ooh, I love a fast woman.
Shut up! He was obsessed with becoming the devil. So much he killed his own wife. For that, he butchered innocent people, too. He's the most vile kind of creature. top it off, that filthy scum is my father.
Well, we have something in common. I have a dysfunctional family too.
And what would you know about family? You're a demon. This is my father. My family. This was all supposed to end by my hand. Just go. I don't care anymore.
Family, huh?
Where am I? It's dark, I can't see anything.
You're still alive, I see.
Mary? Is that you? What's happening? Where's your mother?
My mother? You killed her, remember?
Yes. That's right. I killed her. With my own hands. What horrible thing have I done? I was too weak. I succumbed to his influence.
You mean... you were possessed? Father?
Yes, I was manipulated. Manipulated by a devil named Virgil.
Virgil?
Arkham's manipulations still weren't over. He had convinced his daughter that he was innocent of any wrongdoing, since Virgil had corrupted him and pushed him towards the dark arts. His fabrications gave her a new target, and she set out to take him down. But this was all part of Arkham's game to get them all together in the same room. Another one of the gatekeepers that Sparta locked away was Beowulf, the Light Beast. Equipped with 4 wings and a scorpion-like tail, Beowulf was left half-blinded by Sparta, and promised to annihilate every last blood relation to the traitor.
Give me a break. Tell you what, next time I'll try and wear some cologne, okay?
It's the stench of betrayal. The odor of that accursed Sparta. I will annihilate every last blood relation of Sparta!
A son cleaning up his dad's mess, huh? Where have I heard this story before?
The odious one whose heart pumps the blood of Sparta. Till my sight is gone, I remember your scent. I shall hunt you down through eternity if I must, till I rid this earth of your foul smell.
Why do I have to take the heat for my father? Come on, man. Cut me some slack.
Arkham, still alive and well due to his demonic powers, appeared to Dante as Jester again, guiding him further into the Temenigru. On his way, he also encountered Geryon, once a horse of legend ridden by heroes of the past, but ingesting demonic essences corrupted it and gave it limited control over time. While Dante was busy with the steed, Beowulf tracked the scent of Sparta's blood to the chamber, where Virgil was located, believing him to be Dante.
I found you, seed of Sparta! I told you that I remembered your rancid scent. No matter where you run to, you can never hide from me. You're not the one I faced before. But this smell, there are 2 of them. That excellent Sparta had 2 sons.
Arkham's plans finally came to fruition when Dante arrived. To fully open the seal, he needed the blood of Sparta's son spilled, as well as the blood of the original priestess Sparta sacrificed, a legacy flowing within the veins of Mary.
So, my mother's amulet is the key that unlocks the door to the demon world. Good plan, Pop.
Just the opposite, actually. Originally, it was the key to the demon world, but was given to humans as a gift.
I'm sure you have time for one more game, right?
Why not? After all, we share the same blood. I'll just use more of yours to undo Daddy's little spell.
Sorry, but this is no place for a little girl. So beat it.
Shut up! You forced him into this!
Is that what you think? Foolish girl.
Bravo! Bravo! I never dreamed that things would go so smoothly. Well done, everyone. Well done.
You.
Don't be a bad girl, Mary. Or you can expect a spanking from Daddy later. Jester's gonna spank you, but spank you on the bum. Zowie, that was close. But you've taken quite a trouncing today, haven't you, Virgil? You could have chopped me into confetti by now if you were in tip-top condition.
Damn you.
You have lost. 2 amulets. A set of Sparta's blood. Now, I need one more key. He sacrificed 2 things to suppress the tremendous force of this tower. His own devil's blood and a mortal priestess. I needed you, in whose body flows the same blood as the sacrificed woman. His spell cannot be undone without your blood.
It's time for bed, Mary. You can visit your dear mother. Whoa!
Try me.
It's time for the clown to bow out, Arkham.
Let's welcome chaos. Just sit and wait. Wait for the birth of a new god. I shall take over the power of Sparta!
Are you gonna go?
Yes, I'm going to finish him off.
Well, you might as well forget it, because you're no match for him.
Regardless, I must go. I had a chance to stop him before, but I couldn't. I'm responsible for all this mess.
Responsible? Does it bother you that much?
He's my father. Besides, who else can undo what he's done? A demon like you wouldn't understand.
Dante, Mary, and Virgil were all separated, each on their own journey. Mary wanted to find her father again and undo what he had done, something she saw as her responsibility. And Dante wanted his piece of the amulet back. Although he acted like he only cared about himself most of the time, he understood the seriousness of what was happening. Arkham successfully opened the gateway to the underworld and ascended into the demon realm, where Sparta had sealed his power inside the Force-Edged sword. And after finding Mary again, Dante promised that he would stop Arkham. He made it clear this was no task for a normal human.
I'll take care of him.
Why do you care so much?
This whole business started with my father, sealing the entrance between the two worlds. And now, my brother's trying to break that spell and turn everything into Demonville. This is my family matter, too. Quite frankly, at first, I didn't give a damn. But because of you, I know what's important now. I know what I need to do.
While exploring what was beyond the gate, Arkham did successfully find the Force Edge, still teeming with Sparta's power, and united the two pieces of the perfect amulet to pull the sword out. Dante had to stop him before he could fully absorb its energy and become as powerful as Sparta was. He faced off against and defeated the doppelganger demon posing as him, known as the Death Void, before entering one of the many realms of the demon world. It was unlike anywhere he'd been before, where nothing made sense, a void where the stairs would intertwine and lead nowhere. All the previous guardians he had defeated before manifested themselves again, and Arkham successfully controlled the Force Edge's power. But the power of Sparta didn't affect Arkham in the way he'd expected. That was a power only those descended from Sparta could use, and his corrupt heart mutated him into an enormous, hideous creature that forced brothers to unite.
My father wasn't so hideous. Can't you tell by looking at me? Anyway, that shape suits you better. Let's begin the event.
Regardless of how strong you are, you're nothing but a half-breed. You cannot defeat a pure demon. The real Sparta. What's this? Damn you!
I've come to retrieve my power. You can't handle it.
Look at you, making a big dramatic entrance and stealing my spotlight.
What? You don't possibly believe that he deserves to be our main event now, do you?
Now that you mention it, you're right.
You should come to realize you cannot control the power of Sparta.
You're wasting your time, buddy. I think he needs to learn the hard way.
I'll try it your way for once.
Remember what we used to say? Jackpot.
What a surprise. Here I was looking for you, and lo and behold, you come to me.
Mary.
Don't ever call me that again. My mother was the only one who could say my name.
Help me, Mary.
Mary died a long time ago. My name is Lady. Goodbye, Father.
No!
Arkham was dead, and Mary had claimed her vengeance, ensuring that her father's quest for power was over. And even though Dante and Virgil had set aside their differences to fight him, Virgil still wanted Sparta's power for himself, and Arkham was now out of the way.
Give that to me.
No way. You got your own.
Well, I want yours too.
What are you gonna do with all that power, huh? No matter how hard you try, you're never gonna be like Father.
We're wasting time!
We are the sons of Sparta. Within each of us flows his blood. But more importantly, his soul! And now, my soul is saying it wants to stop you!
Unfortunately, our souls are at odds, brother. I need more power.
And we're supposed to be twins.
Twins. Right. Am I being defeated?
What's wrong? Is that all you got?
The portal to the human world is closing, Dante. Because the amulets have been separated.
Let's finish this, Virgil. I have to stop you. Even if that means killing you.
No one can have this, Dante. It's mine. It belongs to a son of Sparta. interesting. This place was our father's home.
The opening to the demon world was closed off again, and for the first time in many years, Dante showed genuine emotion. Although his brother was power-hungry enough to destroy the world, he still loved him, and this entire experience gave Dante a new sense of responsibility. He carried his father's sword, and with it, his legacy. Mary abandoned the name her father had given her completely, and decided to adopt the name Dante had given her, Lady. There were plenty of demons that came through during Arkham's scheme, and it was up to Dante and Lady to clean them all up. They formed a partnership, working together every once in a while and sharing information with each other. And although he kept in touch with his original agent Enzo, at some point he began working with another agent called Morrison, a man that would be by his side for many years to come and was much more reliable. And he finally thought of a name for his demon hunting business.
Want to know the name? Devil May Cry.
Ending the events of Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. Virgil had survived his battle with Dante and has fallen to the demon world. Seeking to live up to Sparta's name, he challenged Mundus in combat. Mundus had been gathering his strength in the underworld for his eventual return, and a weakened Virgil stood no chance against him.
It'll be fun to fight with the Prince of Darkness. If my father did it, I should be able to do it too.
Virgil lost the battle, and Mundus twisted him into a new demonic form, completely loyal to him, that he named Nilo Angelo. Mundus warned him about how powerful his brother had been becoming in the human world, but Nilo Angelo was afraid of no man, and most of his memories of his previous life as Virgil were corrupted in this new form. Memories of a previous life of a name he no longer answered to. Over time, Mundus plotted his return to a world without Sparta, but he'd been watching Dante grow to be a skilled demon hunter, and knew he was a threat that must be removed. He plotted to use a portal that he would create on a mysterious island called Malay Island. The last of his followers had made this their home and started the process of resurrecting him to the human world. Legends existed that he served as the island's ruler from the underworld in a weakened state after Sparta had defeated him. Although historical records of the island didn't exist, stories were told of supernatural occurrences such as crops growing out of season, and the local cathedral would warp into impossible shapes. In order to return, Mundus needed to lure Dante to Malay Island so he could confront and kill him. Years passed and Mundus created a demon called Trish to accomplish his goals. She could harness the power of electricity, and he sculpted her to look like a young woman resembling Dante's mother Ava. He knew the image of his mother would make him much easier to manipulate, and he sent Trish into the human world to find him. She tracked down several of Dante's contacts to locate him, and found her way to Enzo, who was now a bar owner. Not knowing the truth behind Trish's motives, he told her where Dante's shop was located, and she wanted to find him. Dante had just been on a mission after being hired to find a missing girl that had been kidnapped by demons. After rescuing her and slaying all the demons, he returned back to his shop ready to turn in for the evening when Trish finally arrived.
Sorry, we closed at 9. Again, no password. I can't seem to get any real business. Whoa, slow down, babe. Well, well, what do we have here? Nature calls? It's in the back.
So, you must be the handyman who'll take any dirty job. Am I correct?
Almost. I only take special jobs, if you know what I mean.
You're the man who lost a mother and a brother to evil 20 years ago. The son of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, Mr. Dante.
Well, the way I figure it, in this business a lot of your kind comes around. And if I kill each one that comes, eventually I should hit the jackpot sooner or later.
In that case, you should be used to this sort of thing.
Are you really the son of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta? Didn't your daddy teach you how to use a sword?
Sword. Haha. Time to go to work, guys. Even as a child, I had powers. There's demonic blood in me.
What strength?
You were the first one to know about my vengeance. Looks like I'm getting closer.
It seems that way, but I'm not your enemy. My name is Trish. I came here to seek your help, to put an end to the underworld.
What?
Years ago, Mundus, the Emperor of the Underworld, resurrected.
Mundus?
Yes. His powers were sealed by Sparta. He's attempting to gain control of the human world once again. He has been preparing to open the gate on Malay Island.
Trish and Dante traveled to Malay Island, perfectly in line with Mundus' ultimate plan, and Dante found an island with no inhabitants. The original followers of Mundus were no longer there, and ancient ruins littered its coastline. Trish separated from him under the guise of investigating on her own, and Dante entered the local castle, leading us to the events of the original Devil May Cry. Once inside, he examined the area and began feeling a sense of dread. Suddenly, memories of his childhood and his father rushed through his mind. Malay Island's connection to Mundus was strong, and he never felt a greater evil in his life. And he found that the supernatural claims of the island were true. Inanimate objects were coming to life, and several creatures from the underworld roamed freely. And although Dante wielded his father's force edge, he found another weapon that would aid him on his mission. The Devil Arm Alistor, a sword powered by electricity. It helped Dante unlock some of his own inner power, and he could now channel lightning in his devil form. Dante's mission here was to destroy Mundus before he could re-establish himself as ruler of the human world. But he had no idea who Trish was or if he could actually trust her. He had no clue what he was actually walking into and went to the castle's library to see if there was any more information he could uncover about Malay Island. In the library, he faced low-class demons, wicked spirits called sins that could fly through walls and manifest scissor-like weapons in order to slay their victims. After destroying them, he searched through the books filled with forbidden knowledge of terrible rituals performed on the island over time, and Trish had been watching his progress. But Dante could feel her nearby and threw her on the table and demanded answers. Trish claimed she wasn't following him and simply wanted to warn him about the monsters on the island, a fact that was already obvious. Soon after leaving the library, Dante was attacked by the Phantom.
big surprise. I hope for your sake you got something inside that big body of yours.
The Phantom was a colossal spider-like servant of Mundus, covered in a shell harder than rock, and its internal body was composed of liquid magma, a foe that no normal demon hunter could destroy. But Dante was no normal hunter. Dante had escaped the Phantom for now, but the creature was still searching for him. Mundus was watching his progress the entire time, testing his minions against him. Cat-like demons called shadows stood in his way. They lack a physical form in the human world and need to use their dark powers to surround themselves in shadow. But the shadows would fall just like every demon that crossed his path, but his most fearsome foe would force him to face his past. Mundus sent Virgil, now Nilo Angelo, to finally face his brother and end him. Nilo Angelo caught a glimpse of the amulet that Dante wore around his neck, and memories of his previous life as Virgil erupted in his mind, sending him into a frenzy. Somewhere deep inside, Virgil still existed, and fought to resist Mundus's control. In Dante's mind, his brother had been dead for years, but the reaction this Dark Knight had when he saw his amulet was unusual, and he instantly knew this was no normal demon. Nilo Angelo had escaped for now, but the Phantom had found him and took the opportunity to strike.
Finally! I was getting tired of playing your childish games. You're right. I'm his son, Dante. Sweet dreams.
Incredible power.
Dante couldn't shake the feeling that Nilo Angelo had a familiar presence, and followed his trail underground, and he found him on the floor still reeling from his encounter with Dante. Dante made it clear he wasn't there to fight and simply wanted to talk, and Nilo Angelo admitted that he was once a man just like him, but he attacked him and left him injured on the ground, expressing regret to the memory of his mother over the monster that he had become. Dante recovered, and at this point realized that the demon was in fact his brother, now a servant of the Demon King that their father had defeated. While Virgil had been dormant in a weakened state for years, Dante's power had continued growing, and his mission on Malay Island provided him with even more increases in power. He found another devil arm imbued with the elemental energy of fire, and he could also channel its powers through his devil form. With his newfound powers in place, he moved forward, with Trish guiding him where to go. He traveled to a ghost ship that took him closer to Mundus's inner sanctum and was attacked by another one of the Demon King's loyal minions, the Griffin. The Griffin was a large bird-like demon swirling with demonic energy, and he was recognized in the demon world as one of Mundus's earliest followers.
Yours are definitely the powers of Sparta. Even more so. But I cannot let you live. I serve my master Mundus.
You can't fight with that wound.
Mighty is the power of Mundus. Master, grant me one last surge of power. The power to finish him. Master Mundus. Griffin, you have failed me. You are no longer worthy. No! Please, no! No!
You beat him. Maybe it was too easy for you.
Mundus. His heinous ways make me sick, killing even his own, like they were nothing. He's the one that took the life of my mother, my brother, surely. My mother used to always tell me that my father was a man who fought for me. He had courage and a righteous heart. In the name of my father, I will kill Mundus.
Mundus was furious that one of his most powerful servants was destroyed by Dante. It seemed that Sparta's son was every bit of a threat as he was, and although briefly, Dante had just laid his eyes on the Demon King responsible for his mother's death. It was time for him to live up to his father's legacy and stop Mundus from claiming his throne. Before he can do that, he needed to free his brother's soul, even if it meant killing him. It pained him that he couldn't free Virgil from Mundus's control, but he knew there was no other option. His brother was craving power of his own for years before he fell to the Dark Lord's influence, and even if he could somehow save him, Virgil would still have been a threat to humanity. And with both pieces of the amulet united and the Force Edge in the hands of Sparta's blood, the sword reacted by taking its true form as the Sparta, the legendary sword that slayed Mundus so long ago. sword in its purest form, Dante gathered the keys necessary to unlock the gate to the demon world on Malay Island. He swore Mundus would pay for what he did to his family, and with the gate opening, reality was being distorted, and the cathedral provided the entrance to the underworld. Inside the underworld, Trish led Dante to the den of another bioweapon created by Mundus, the Nightmare, and her betrayal was finally revealed. The Nightmare in its most basic form was a green sludge, composed of demonic material and human skulls, but during combat it became a demonic war machine.
Trish, stay back!
Dante! Dante, why did you save my life?
Because you look like my mother. Now get out of my sight. The next time we meet, it won't be like this.
Dante!
Don't come any closer, you devil! You may look like my mother, but you're nowhere close to her. You have no soul. You have the face, but you'll never have her fire!
Dante was enraged that Trish had betrayed him, but couldn't bring himself to destroy a demon so human-like that resembled his mother. But Mundus now knew that Dante had some compassion towards her, a fact that he would use to his advantage when Dante made it to his throne room. Just like Sparta had done before him, Dante stood before the Demon King and challenged him.
Again I must face a Sparta. Strange fate, isn't it?
Strange and ironic that it will end the same way.
Irony has favored you this time. Look, there.
Trish!
Don't even think about it. Blink. She dies.
You!
Dante!
Trish! Trish! No!
Useless scum. Failure is one thing, but taking an odd behavior like that. What is the matter? It is time to end your pitiful life.
How much longer are you going to keep zapping? Come out and show yourself, Mundus!
Those eyes. Deep in them, I see the same light as in Sparta's eyes.
Why my mother?
That useless voiceless being? If you need a mother, I can create it. As many as you want. Just like I created Trish.
Silence!
My mother risked her life for me. And now you, too. I should have saved you. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light! This was my mother's. Now I'm giving it to you. My father's also here now. Rest in peace.
Dante left Trish with the Sparta and the amulet and made his way out of the demon world. Mundus's defeat had triggered an enormous collapse of that region, and if he didn't escape back to the human world, he'd be trapped there. Mundus had been horribly wounded in the battle, and he refused to let Sparta's legacy destroy his plans again. Even without his full strength, he stubbornly tried escaping into the human world in a final desperate attempt to take his revenge.
Has been opened. Dante, you are not getting away. This is where you will die.
I'm not going anywhere! Besides, there's no place to go! Look around! This will be your burial ground as well!
What is the matter? Here your powers are weak, human.
No. You'll be okay. You can do it.
What? Mother.
Dante, use my power! It looks like we have a winner.
Jackpot.
Dante.
Trish, devils never cry. These tears are a gift only humans have.
We're too late.
And we humans never give up. Are you ready?
Dante had fulfilled his father's legacy and sent Mundus back into the underworld, weaker than he had ever been. The Demon King would never recover from this defeat, and a new Demon King would one day brush him aside. For now, the world was safe from his grasp, and Trish left with Dante in order to live a life that she never had the opportunity to live before. Even though Mundus was gone, demons were still a reality in the human world, and Trish decided to work alongside Dante as his partner in his now renamed business.
Devil never cry. Yes? Okay, great. Where's the place? We'll be right there. This one has the password. Sounds heavy.
Okay, let's get it over with in 10 minutes. Can't let a single one of those suckers live.
5 minutes.
More than enough.
Join me next time for the Devil May Cry Timeline Part 3, Becoming the Hunter. With his past now mostly behind him, Dante embraces the future and fully delves into his role as a professional demon hunter alongside the allies he met along the way. And the human obsessed with the idea of becoming a god threatens to resurrect an evil greater than Mundus. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button with all of your strength. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any new content. You can follow me on social media or go into my community tab for updates. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel directly on Patreon. This is Fabian, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.